We are live from the 2300 Arena, South Philly, brought to you tonight by Title Match Network. Battleground Championship Wrestling proudly presents Born to Die. And we're kicking things off hot, baby. It is a Titan versus a Titan. It is a collision of epic proportions.
How big Legursky is, but that he's practically dwarfed by the 476-pound Juicy Finau. And time almost stands still as these men go nose to nose and belly to belly. And we're just kicking things off. It is an all-day long festivity here at the 2300 Arena. We've got a block party this afternoon, tribute to the Extreme 2, coming up this evening. Juicy's feeling his inner Isaiah Cassidy, I think. I don't know what's going on. But it's belly bump, back and forth. Who's gonna budge? Can you top this? All the adages, all of the cliches, irresistible force, immovable object. It certainly applies to this particular contest. And these men have felt one another out, certainly, and it's only going to get more physical and more aggressive as time goes on. This is in excess of 800 pounds in the ring. I think many of these fans are just in awe of the sheer mass, of the spectacle in front of them. You have fans in attendance tonight who have come from all over the world, from all over North America certainly, and Europe and Japan, and all points in between. Some who maybe have dreamed their whole lives about stepping foot in the hallowed halls of the ECW arena, the 2300 arena, the new Alhambra, whatever name you know it by. You know there's wrestling history deeply attached to it. There have been tours that have gone on in this building throughout the week. 3-point stance. Oh, I'm not sure the college football background on either of these men, but either way, nobody moves. Wrecking Ball daring Juicy to hit the ropes, and again, imagine how powerful you have to be to stare into the face of Juicy, unintimidated, undaunted. The Riddle. Again, nobody moves. We could be here a while if this keeps up, but Wrecking Ball cuts the distance, caught Juicy unaware, and Juicy hits a big crossbody. And Wrecking Ball needs a reprieve on the outside. How often do you see Wrecking Ball Legursky backtracking with the limber tail, looking to regroup and not going full throttle and forward into a fight? Imagine the thickness of the skull of the big Tongan Juicy Finau as that connects with any other person. Legursky fighting through it however he can. May not want to aim for the head though. Looking for maybe a thrust to the jaw. Look out, Legursky! Set into that solid steel guardrail. And we're early in the afternoon, but already getting a little bit lawless, a little bit extreme, as only this building can provide. Both men back in, and looks like Wrecking Ball's the worst for wear. Juicy hits that splash. You gotta wonder if Juicy will be an interested spectator when Brian Kendrick defends the Battleground title. Look at that tip up by Legursky. Scary agility, and back with a running cross body. Do not judge a book by its cover. Legursky going to the floor. It was Juicy Finau's turn to seek some salvation on the outside of the ring. But Legursky pressing the advantage. And maybe Juicy will be in no condition to watch the Brian Kendrick Championship matchup tonight. These South Pacific Savages, the Samoan SWAT team, call it whatever you will. They're very, very dangerous, and certainly it's in their blood. More evident now than ever before. Wait a minute, Wrecking Ball, chair to the gut. Juicy doubled over in pain, and you can feel that shot just contort the spine of Juicy Finau. And Juicy, I think the guardrail's the only thing keeping him on his feet. Legursky showing off that chair like a badge of honor. Oh! But you cannot turn your back on Big Toko. Punching the steel right in, almost right through the skull of Wrecking Ball Legursky, and maybe a little snack in the process. Look out. Legursky and Juicy. This has been just a no-frills brawl for most of the way. Juicy out on his feet, just looking to create some distance, get some time. And Legursky follows through with a splash. And that will be enough to put any normal man down and out. Certainly Juicy's no normal man. Legursky. The hip attack into the corner. I know oh no. Juicy to his feet. And that, I think Juicy took that as a slight. Juicy's been mentored by Jacob Fatu. Jacob's uncle Eki Umaga popularized that move. But now Big Toko, Juicy Finau, I think he's going to show it how it's done. Into the corner. And there is nowhere to go. How did Wrecking Ball Legursky kick out? That's the most shocking thing. The fact he was able to get out and survive. My gosh, just the amount of mass. And to still be on his feet, it's insane. But that shows you the competition. That shows you the competitive spirit. Oh, man. Juicy hard to the corner, Wrecking Ball. That's nearly 500 pounds. And Juicy kicks out. Are you serious? And Legursky is looking to finish this thing, but easier said than done. This has been a hoss fight You can talk about meaty men slapping meat, whatever the buzzword you want to use is. This is it. And Wrecking Ball was looking maybe Death Valley Driver, Fireman's Carry. Juicy didn't let it happen. And a big Tongan drop. And Juicy elects not to go for the cover. Is that a mistake? Oh my God. I've seen this before, but I still can't believe it with my eyes. Juicy, second turnbuckle. Moonsault connected. Big Juice to the pay window.
Here is your winner, the New Era Savage, Big Toco Juicy Finau.
Well, we know that there's representation in the building from the rest of the Samoan SWAT team. We know that their presence will be felt later on here on the broadcast here on Title Match Network.
And we are live this afternoon from 2300 Arena, South Philly. Are you having a good time so far? Make sure you check out our website, battlegroundcw.com, for all information about the company. And we hope to see you tonight for a tribute to the Extreme 2. But right now it's all about Born to Die as our star-studded spectacular continues with the following contest scheduled for one fall. And it is a #1 contenders match to the Battleground World Championship.
In that particular situation, Swann would love to be back in championship contention. Lance looking for some reciprocity on the situation with his title pursuit. And you can tell where the hometown advantage lies. And I can't even say hometown because Rich Swann, Baltimore, that's nearby. Lance and Anoa'i, Allentown, they're both very easy drives. But I would suggest that geography aside, the home team is Rich Swann. I think a lot of people thought that what Lance and Anoa'i and Juicy did to Brian Kendrick a few months ago was a bit presumptuous, a bit over the line. And of course, I understand marking your territory and wanting to, Lance gets the advantage in the early going. Rich Swann favoring the net. Certainly it's about exerting your dominance, right? You go into a new school, you pick on the biggest kid, right? You go into prison, you pick on the most dangerous prisoner. You go into a new wrestling company, you target the champion. That's what Lance did, that's what Juicy did. And you can't fault that, but Brian Kendrick has shown you the heart and soul that he possesses. And the fact that it took two men and 700 plus pounds to put Brian Kendrick down speaks to his mettle. And the fact that if Brian Kendrick is successful tonight against Lince Dorado, I know Brian will not back down from either of these men. And to be fair, if Lince's successful, he won't either. Lance has a reach advantage when it comes to the Greco-Roman knuckle lock, the test of strength, as it were. May not be wise. And Rich Swann asking Lance and Anoa'i, can you handle this? Swing and a miss, leapfrog. Here comes Rich Swann with a drop kick, nicely done. Swann is so explosive. He's so sudden and rapid in his movements. But he doesn't sacrifice a hint of physicality to do it. But check out Lince! Alley-oos! Up and down with that Samoan drop. And that speaks to the power of Lince, that thick frame, 2 count only. It's through the entire family, through the entire dynasty, they're able to do things like that. Of course, if you'll be joining us later on tonight, Tribute to the Extreme 2, Lince and Samu, Samoan Gangsta Party, rises once again. So many memories are going to be relived in this building throughout the course of the day and evening, and so many new memories yet to be. And that impact tells a story. Rich Swann, the worst for wear on the outside, as Lince Anoa'i is the aggressor. I'm not sure if Lince wants it more. I wouldn't go as far as to suggest that, but I would suggest perhaps Lince will be a little bit more desperate if he needs to, but Swann reverses and sends Lince Anoa'i back first into the guardrail. You saw the effect it had on Wrecking Ball Legursky in the opening contest. Much the same here. And Swann again, we talked earlier. Oh, that side round kick caught Lince right in the side of the jaw. And a full lap around the ring. Poop kick right in the mush. Swann taking his own scenic tour of the 2300 arena. And one more time. Oh, Lince. That may be the one weakness of Rich Swann. He does like to showboat a tad, if you haven't noticed. He loves to have fun at his opponent's expense, loves to make these people smile, but sometimes in the heat of battle, that can be a detriment, as the shoulders were down for a count of 2. And Lince, notice the wide base, the legs spread out. This enables Lince to plant his feet, get firm balance, and lean in on that nerve hold. And what Lince is doing is he's trying to apply pressure and cut off feeling to that trapezius muscle and numb part of the body of Rich Swann. Swann able to counter. Lince elevates Swann, who lands right in the small of his back. A vital landing right in the kidneys, right on the coccyx. And that'll have almost an atomic drop-like effect. It'll send a jolt up your spinal column and leave you temporarily, at least momentarily, immobile. Oh, what Swann found his mobility there, got the foot up. And Lince came in full speed as well. He had no way to brace himself. And Swann able to push off. With Swann distance comes opportunity. And the clothesline connects. Here comes Swann. Frog splash! #1 contendership on the line, near fall. And Swann just narrowly. And now the second turnbuckle on the inside. Well, this could be one of those compact 450s. Rolls through as Lince out of harm's way. And that side savate kick. A Samoan staple. And Lince soars down with a splash. And that will do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner and the new #1 contender to the Battleground World Championship,
Anoa'i, a victory. Samoan SWAT team 2-0 on the night. Lance will meet the winner of the Battleground Championship matchup between Brian Kendrick and Lince Dorado tonight at a later date. But on a weekend where we're all thinking Bloodline and we're all thinking what's going to transpire at Lincoln Financial Field, it comes down to Lance Anoa'i, Juicy Finau, getting that trend going in the right direction. But Lance isn't thinking about his cousins. He's not thinking about his uncles. He's thinking about Lance Anoa'i.
South Philly, are you feeling the atmosphere here this afternoon? We're live from the Story 2300 Arena. Still to come later tonight, a tribute to the Extreme 2. If you could not get tickets, it will be streaming live on Title Match Network. If you did get tickets, it's going to be one hell of a party continuing tonight in South Philly. Right now, it's all about Born to Die as our star-studded attraction continues with a special attraction, six-man tag team contest. Now in this match, the special stipulation states that if Joel Gertner's team wins, they all will be awarded 1-year Battleground Championship Wrestling contracts. However, if Gertner's team loses, they will all be banned from Battleground Championship Wrestling forever!
And ever! And ever, and ever. The existence of many Battleground fans and the owner Timothy Emblem.
And their opponents, making their way down the aisle from Burlington, New Jersey, at a total combined weight of
Who, for my money, have as much potential as any unsigned tag team that you can find. And evidenced by the fact that the Graysons, the Nu Backseats as twere, were able to defeat the Vaudevillains, team of Gotch and Raywalt. And that's what happened after the match. Johnny Kashmere came out to address the Philadelphia faithful, and Playboy and Christian Ross and Alvin made a statement at his expense and the expense of Talvia and J.P. Grayson. That's their mentor. And now mentor and mentees banding together, and there's some of that backseat swagger, old school style by Tommy Grayson. And then with Alvin, the personal bodyguard of the quintessential stud muffin, Joel Gertner. I don't have any in-depth intel on the bodyguard skills of Alvin, but I'm sure he's more intimidating than sign guy Dudley. But be that as it may, the backseat elbow connects. Great tandem offense by the brothers, and a double drop kick as well. The synergy, the cohesion, they've always had it, but now they have it exponentially, thanks to the teachings of Johnny Kashmere. But you can't teach size, and Christian Ross has plenty of it. Trying to chop the big man down to size. Christian Ross at one point was a disgruntled fan looking for an opportunity, and the Graysons see an opportunity to fly to the floor, throwing caution to the wind. And now Kashmere, the 25-year veteran, what a career resurgence he has had after a decade away from the sport, now keeping the memory of his late friend alive and bringing it forward for a whole new audience. And Christian Ross looking, nope. Oh, Kashmere got a little bit too big for his britches, and then a Playboy with an illegal assist. It took two men to pin Kashmere. No, not like this. And these fans are upset. Kashmire's upset. The Graysons are upset. That means they're banned from the arena, and these yahoos get contracts. This couldn't go any worse. Oh, no.
And ladies and gentlemen, your winners and the newest contracted members of the Battleground roster, the Sex with your next Express.
How quickly can we make them X-roster members? How long is the contract for? Is there an out? Is there a loophole? Is there a morality clause, for God's sakes? These guys are going to be here every single event.
What's the thing? It didn't have to come to this. Timothy Embler could have reached out to me at home just 100 miles away in a real city that's actually got 5 boroughs, New York City, and he could have offered an olive branch, an invitation out of respect. And he could have said, Joel, will you come to Battleground? No. Even if it's at the arena, still no. For this amount of money, absolutely not. Because when I found out what the top 5 talent were getting, I was appalled. So imagine the referees. Some of them were actually born, not hatched, and have families. So I have contributed to the referees fund, and therefore I have created for myself a beautiful Hall of Fame weekend in Philadelphia. My mentor, Paul Heyman, is going into One Wrestling Promotions Hall of Fame. The Dudley Boys are going into The Dudley Boys are going into One Buildings Hall of Fame, which is all that I ever asked. And now, I, the quintessential stud muffin, am going to the Intergalactic Global World Hall of Fame of Life. All they had to do to make room for the banner was put the American flag in storage. Thank you all, and have a rest of a day.
Oh, Gertner thinks he's above America. He's above everybody. Intergalactic Hall of Fame. Give me a break.
Well, whether this is your first Battleground event or you're a weathered veteran, what do you think of Battleground so far, South Philly? And we're just getting started as Born to Die continues with a rematch from our December live event, Opportunity Knocks.
Facade in such great physical condition. Has that musculature, but stays lean for that quickness, that mobility. You look at the strength of the neck as he stretches the muscles before the matchup begins. These are two men who really from different eras in many respects, but think very much the same. You can see the influence in both of their styles by men like Sabu or Rob Van Dam. And Crowbar very quickly Steps to the outside in between the ropes, and that's Crowbar's way of saying, we're gonna go my pace. I'm gonna set the tempo here as the veteran. Yeah, Crowbar doesn't like how it feels. Facade's coming in very offensive-minded. He's pushing forward. Facade and Crowbar both, I would suggest, want a pinfall or submission, but especially Facade. And it means so much to have Facade here tonight, and it's means so much for Facade to be here in this particular building. And every matchup Facade has is something that Facade dreamed of one day, competing in this building, right? It's something that there's a mystique about it. You wake up in the middle of the night and you find, you know, the old ECW TV show on television, you know, midnight or 1 or 2 in the morning, or, you know, you tape trade and you find all the companies that have been through here after the demise of the Extreme Movement as Facade the go-behind on Crowbar. But there's such a cachet to being here. It's like a rite of passage. You know, you work the arena, you've done something. And Crowbar does something in the form of a back elbow. And, oh man, the physicality is on point as Crowbar looks to once again dictate that pace. But Facade, abusive yet elusive, trying to stay in motion. And Crowbar asserting his advantage. Feel, you can hear the points of impact as these men exchange chops and strikes in the corner. Reversal by Crowbar. And there's the neck strength. That's why Facade does those bridging exercises and got great distance off of that tip up. Oh, Facade just tried to confuse Crowbar and confound him. That back kick caught him in the midsection. Up and over. Series of springboards into the drop kick. Facade is feeling it right now. He's in his element. And Crowbar wants a reprieve, and he's gonna get one because Percival is playing spoiler, and if Facade has to go through Percival to get to Crowbar, that is a risk-reward situation. He's gonna have to reassess. Crowbar back in, Facade a hair quicker. Facade's the younger of the two. I don't think that's headline news. Floater over off the suplex and into the right hands. Facade is being a bit, well, over-aggressive, one might suggest. Is he being impulsive? Or is this part of his strategy? I'm not sure. Either way, it's Neon Ninja in control right now as Crowbar seeks salvation on the outside again. And what Facade again went double spring, but Crowbar didn't have Percival that time, but he had the wherewithal to get out of harm's way. Oh, there's Percival. That's a cheap shot right in the midsection. And look at the power of this man. Just carrying Facade around leisurely. This associate of Crowbar is here for a reason, and it's not just aesthetics. This is a dangerous man. And that could be the end for Facade. And Crowbar coming in with a drop kick. Facade, the momentum carried him into Percival, and I don't think Percival even moved. That's how large this man is. As I look around at just the sea of people here throughout this building, I'm not sure if it is 100% sold out this afternoon. I know we were on the verge of selling out if it's not completely sold out. I don't see an empty seat. And including the one Facade is occupying now, as Crowbar applying the pressure with the chin lock. And Crowbar maybe looking to take a chance. And down on top of Facade and on top of the chair. Neon Ninja is hurt. And you can see the chair just crumpled and collapsed underneath Facade. Imagine what the body of Facade reacted. Cover here, got only. And those repeated covers, some people may look at that as a waste of time. But it takes so much energy to push a body. I don't know what Crowbar's exact weight is. I missed the introduction of that, but 220, 230, somewhere around there. To have to elevate that off of your own body repeatedly every 3 seconds, it takes a lot out of you. Crowbar firing away. Right hand chop. Rapid fire. Look out, drop toe hold. Facade lands, throat first, and Crowbar follows through. There's nowhere for Facade to go. And man, Facade just had the wind knocked out of him probably 2 or 3 times in this match so far, and you can tell he's barely making any kind of a motion, and there you see the leg drop as well. Facade hung up one more time. I think just the core of Facade absorbed the brunt of that offense. Into the cover, Crowbar, a lax pin, and Facade didn't just kick out, but used that dexterity to sneak up a kick between the eyes. I think this mini rivalry, or whatever you want to look at it as, has gotten very heated between these two. Both men trying to chart their course, mark their territory. Crowbar cinching in that chin lock. And Facade looking for a way free. He finds it, breaks the grip. Charging in. Oh, Crowbar got the foot up. Once again. And Facade, man, just has not gotten out of the blocks the way he wants, and that's a near fall. Facade loves to be rapid fire and impulsive and come at you from different directions, and that's been completely shut down and erased by everything Crowbar is doing its systematic dissection. Northern Lights suplex, Facade kicking at the legs, near fall. And you notice Facade had to struggle to kick out of that. It wasn't an easy motion. Facade had to build that momentum with his feet, his legs, and work its way up. Crowbar, the Bret Hart-esque kick to the breadbasket. And it's been a long time. I've been following Facade's career for many, many years. It's been a long time since I've seen him down for this sustained amount of time. But it speaks to the strategy of Crowbar and how there's been no holes in his game. A thinking man's wrestler as Crowbar. Oh, took a risk that time. Went for the forward senton, but Facade out of harm's way. Facade We're gonna quicken that pace, the standing quebrada. Crowbar is down, but you notice Facade cannot pick up that pace. Facade is struggling to his feet, willing himself up. Swing and a miss. Second time. Facade connects. I think Crowbar's bell got rung by Facade. Crowbar is moving a half step slower than he wants to be, swinging wildly, and Facade's able to exploit it. Springs off, caught a kick high. Facade hooks the leg. Is that enough? No. Near fall situation. And Facade caught himself on the apron. I think Crowbar was looking to take Facade out of the game again. There was so much damage done. And Facade in with a leg sweep. Facade normally comes in high, but he adjusted on the fly. Crowbar wasn't looking for low. And now, with Crowbar off his game, Facade hits the high kick. Actually, oh yeah, be careful of Percival out there. And Facade looking for some toys, looking for some plunder, looking for some 2300 arena specialty. Facade manipulating the ring steps. There's a door. What in the world? Well, one thing Crowbar and Facade are both known for, it's their hardcore innovation. Face first. Facade, that's the danger of setting up contraptions like that. You'll do a hell of a lot of damage and maybe win the matchup, but how much time does it take to get you there? Watch Facade. Oh, Crowbar, the most awkward landing you can get. And Facade looking to springboard off the guardrail and slipped. And that's just perspiration. That's the damage that's been done by Crowbar, and Crowbar taking advantage. Crowbar taking advantage of that hot shot. Facade didn't get what he wanted on the outside, and that timing gave Crowbar the attempt to recover the choke bomb and a near fall. Matt, back and forth action. Two daredevils, two risk takers. Two men that live life on the edge. And Crowbar, as Facade perched, top turnbuckle, Hurricane connects. And as many years in the game as Crowbar has, he can still make that happen. And so seamlessly, so flawlessly, Northern Lights with a chair and a bridge. Crowbar's beat him, no. And these men are giving you so much of themselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, willing themselves on, and Facade doesn't see. Oh, now he does. Matrixes his way out of the chair shot of Crowbar and connected with a glancing blow. Facade was able to push that chair back into the head of Crowbar. Didn't get the force he may have wanted. But it was a means to an end because Crowbar is prone for the Arashikage driver. Facade hooks the leg and Crowbar kicks out. That has been a Facade staple his entire pro wrestling career. And Facade feeling here, go at triple jump, moonsault. On top of Crowbar, but another kick out. Man, you talk about Crowbar being timeless. You talk about Crowbar being somebody that stands the test of time, has such a high pain threshold, and has put his body through so much over the years. Crowbar is showing that's not marketing hype. That's not a t-shirt slogan. Crowbar lives it. Facade firing away, keeping in mind the wreckage at their feet. And Crowbar just dropped out. Facade was looking to elevate Crowbar onto that door. Percival's trying to get involved. Oh, and that was not wise. Facade just doesn't have the body weight to maneuver Percival. Oh, but Percival hits the post. Facade will go through everybody if he has to. A high kick caught Crowbar in the temple, and he stumbles back onto that door. And that extreme spirit is alive and well. And Percival was able to save Crowbar at the 11th hour. But wait a minute, Facade springs up for the somersault plancha. Facade throwing caution to the wind. That's the only thing he knows how to do. And now with Crowbar back in position. Facade on the guardrail. And Crowbar through the door. A crumpled heap. Crowbar and the door alike. Crowbar sent back in. That's, again, the danger of a high-risk maneuver like that. You got to get him back in the ring to pin him, to defeat them. It's not false count anywhere. But Facade looking for the exclamation point on that sentence. And the side kick right to the head. Crowbar is out of way. Oh, no, that's Vanessa. I forgot about her. Crowbar's got an answer for everything. There's moving parts everywhere. But is it just prolonging the inevitable? Because Crowbar looks like he doesn't know where he is. Percival again, for goodness sakes. Hasn't he learned his lesson, Facade? Distance creates opportunity, but Crowbar, feet on the ropes, and Crowbar stole it.
Here is your winner, the timeless one, Crowbar.
Well, some may call him the timeless one, some could call him the gutless one, some could call him the unconscionable one, because this man, after a great one-on-one contest, not only liberally utilized services of Percival and Vanessa, easy for me to say, but also the feet on the ropes. Crowbar needed every trick in the book to beat Facade tonight. Crowbar stays a step ahead of Facade. And I would have thought before this matchup began, I would have said, Crowbar doesn't want to win that way. He would never want to do something like that. But the true colors of Crowbar are evident. Crowbar wants to be friends, I think. Or is he chastising him? I thought we were going to see a handshake attempt. But no, the tempers are heated. And about Facade,
You don't got to do that, man.
Justifiably
No,
so.
don't touch her. You're a baby face. Don't do that. Facade.
Facade's frustrated to say the least.
Give me 5 seconds, man. You got a ton of potential, man. Let's go back there. I got a nice bottle of wine. Dude, I would love just to sit down and speak with you. 'Cause I think you're freaking awesome. We'll be back there. Hop on, please.
I'm not sure what to make of this.
Dude, he's awesome. He's unbelievable. Neon Ninja. You're on.
I'm not sure the
You are
Crowbar's
unbelievable,
intentions
man.
are altruistic. There's a hidden motive here somewhere, I gotta believe. But what goes through your mind if you're Facade? Crowbar uses every shortcut in the book to get one by on you. And then Crowbar extends the olive branch and invites you to a glass of wine and a conversation. What does that conversation look like? And what's the end goal for Crowbar?
Born to Die, brought to you this afternoon by Title Match Network. And our star-studded spectacular continues with this next contest scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, approaching the ring from Long Island, and his opponent from Dragon Gate, Japan.
Impresses me every single time out. VSK does not look impressed by La Estrella. Talked to VSK earlier on this afternoon. He didn't even seem impressed with the building. He said, well, this building's got some history to it, some fame. Big what? So VSK, I think, is looking at this as another day at the job. Winners share the purse money, get out of here back to New York, which VSK considers a far superior locale to Philadelphia. Both men feeling one another out in the early going. Quickness advantage, La Estrella. Experience, I believe, would be VSK. And if you haven't seen VSK before, in this kind of setting, he's a lot more than just a butler, let me tell you. He's very technically sound, a thinking man's wrestler. He's well-rounded. And there you see, I would not have expected VSK to be the first man to leave his feet and hit those series of takeovers. The head scissors, the drop kick. I think many people expected Estrella to do that. VSK just beat him to the punch. Into the bucket, La Estrella. With distance comes opportunity. We've said it a couple of times. You dazzle your opponent, catch him off guard, pace quickens here, up and over, leapfrog VSK. Estrella stays out of the grasp. And VSK has no idea how to counter that. Up and over with a Tijeras, nicely done. And now, look at us, sword. Oh, VSK was able to step out of the target range of La Estrella. La Estrella, great sense of balance and timing to rebound and get the adulation from these fans. Well, VSK wants to be friends, and I do not blame La Estrella for perhaps not trusting him in this occasion or any other occasion, let's be honest. We get a head shake at VSK. Doing VSK things. Only way to put it. For the ride, here comes Estrella looking for a tip up, and VSK just kept stationary and waited for Estrella to come to him and sends him to the outside. A win here certainly will put VSK in that conversation for Battleground Champion. We know Lance Anoa'i is the next challenger. Oh, man! VSK dropping a knee on that ramp. That's unforgiving. There's no give there at all. There's no where to go. Hard surface. VSK sends his man back in. Battle press, 2 count only. Estrella kicks out. Estrella, as I mentioned, really thrives in that hybrid style. It will behoove him to get VSK guessing, but nothing doing here, as I think Estrella tried to come up and VSK just met him head on with a splash. As Estrella was coming up, VSK was coming down, and that only made the point of impact that much more physical. And a slingshot, Estrella to the outside. VSK has controlled a surprisingly large portion of this matchup. Move out of the way. This is unlike VSK, who told me earlier he doesn't really respect the extreme style, and perhaps that's his way of showing that to these people. Kicking the legs to Estrella. VSK was looking for maybe Death Valley drive or great recuperative skills by VSK, or by Estrella, excuse me, as both men roll through on the victory roll to the point I get confused that VSK winds up on the outside. Estrella now taking a chance. Couple of springboards down with a moonsault. Estrella is feeling it. Comes the whip, and oh, the handspring by Estrella. PSK cuts him off, shot to the shoulder blades. Estrella, amazing balance, caught himself in the ropes. Up and over, twisting with a DDT. That lucha libre influence. Estrella building off of his own momentum. Is that enough? No. And VSK shot that shoulder up as best he could. And Estrella tripped up in a bad way. That, again, the worst landing you could have. VSK look at Death Valley driver this time around again. Wait, victory roll, roll through by Estrella, near fall. And springing off. Down, hit that cradle shot. Did VSK, and Estrella out again. VSK thought that was it. I think he would have bet money on it. But on this day, Estrella showing the fight, showing the Dragon Gate fighting spirit that has propelled so many of them to success all over the world. VSK amping up that physicality. Estrella Step ahead, switches direction, springs off, and got a springboard headbutt. Estrella, did he catch enough? VSK just barely gets the right shoulder up. Pile driver coming up. Oh, VSK. Catch him, sunset driver. A sunset driver, VSK.
Who is your winner? Riz King VSK.
Took a lot more than Riz to get the job done here tonight. It took that sunset driver as well. VSK is 2-0 in as many Battleground events.
Introducing team number 1 first. From the islands of Buffalo, here we come the aisle first. From Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
And I know there's a friendship there with him and Swoggle. I know Swoggle is tough. I know Swoggle is fearless. Swoggle has made a living out of facing people 2, 3, 4, 5 times his size. Many times in weekends like this. But when it comes to Beastman and Fallah Bahh, that just massive humanity. I know the heart of Swoggle is willing, but what can we realistically expect? I'm not quite sure what Beastman was doing there. Some type of gamesmanship. Disrespectful gesturing towards Swoggle. But Swoggle is at eye level with a lot of very unpleasant things in relation to Beastman. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Swoggle's got a point. I don't think the Husk and Bot conversation was going. Hey, there you go. Well, that shows that Swoggle's not going to back down, not going to try to make himself visible. And we are underway. Brian Myers. What? So Swoggle wastes no time tagging himself in. Swoggle versus Fallah Bahh at the 2300 Arena, biggest pro wrestling weekend of the year. Fallah Bahh's treated like a pet. Maybe an appetizer. Oh, hello. Swoggle's like if somebody put Fallah Bahh in the dryer. Fallah Bahh not amused by, oh, look out. Swoggle gets a big chunk. There's a lot down there. I wasn't so sure if Fallah Bahh could even feel that. But apparently so. A brave charge into the headbutt. My goodness. Oh no. We've seen this before from Fallah Bahh. Gonna roll across Swoggle. Oh man, that's uncomfortable to watch. One more. Is there anything left of Swoggle? Is Swoggle still breathing? Somebody, oh no, again! It's like Swoggle's a slip and slide. And yeah, Myers has to call an audible here. Get Swoggle out of there while there's still something to get out. One more, Myers would have needed a spatula and a takedown by Fallah Bahh. Myers has had success, numerous championships in TNA, Impact Wrestling. Of course, part of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. And a tag into Beastman. I am amazed Every time I see Beastman do a tag and the double elbow worked and oh my goodness. Hey, whatever you gotta do to get the momentum on your side to get to your feet, right? Much like the skull of Juicy earlier, Beastman will do a number on you. I guarantee it. Rights and lefts, clubbing blow. Myers back to his feet. I wouldn't go after the midsection. There's a lot of padding there. Oh, what a crossbody! And that could do it. And Beastman has terrorized folks in the Battleground for so long. Myers tried to get out, sent right back in. Beastman, the Hotel California pro wrestler. And Swoggle the diversion. And Myers hits an impaler DDT. Myers is gonna do this. No. Near fall situation. And that battle cry of Beastman. We'll see what it does to raise the ire of Fallah Bahh a little bit. Not that you ever want to do that.
Referee! Nice easy tag. Here we go.
And here comes the tag, the insertion of Swoggle, who just goes to the eyes. Hey, I don't care how big you are, you can't see, you can't defend yourself. And Swoggle. A lax cover by Swoggle. Get some more body on body, Swoggle. As much body as you can afford to spare. Give me a boot. How's Swoggle gonna push his head into? He's fighting. Oh, that makes sense.
We're doing good.
It's about making the most of what you got. Swoggle's doing it.
Punch him in the belly. Right in the tummy.
Swoggle's directing traffic. Yeah, you can handle the tummy punches, Swoggle. You got a bird's eye view on that. Swoggle, a little bit of strut in his step right now as Myers puts the advantage on. Beastman's got to be hovering around that 400-pound mark. And Swoggle, now he's putting his body weight into it. Shot to the back of the head's not going to do any favors for Beastman. Not going to knock anything loose that isn't already knocked loose, though. Myers says, Swoggle, give me a boot. Swoggle doing his best. Beastman reverses it. Myers into Swoggle. Swoggle came out of his shoe. That's a big time impact. No pun intended. As Beastman is looking for Fallah Bahh. And here's a chance for the big man to rebound. And Swoggle, recipient of a belly bump. He's in a bad way. Double noggin knocker, good night. Fallah Bahh drops that tree branch of a leg. A tree trunk of a leg. And Myers barely able to kick out. This could, Myers able to break the grip, come back with the enziguri kick. Myers is not 100%. He's in a bad way right now. But he's created some distance between himself and Fallah Bahh. Measuring, Fallah. Here goes Beastman. Oh, the sidewalk slam. The professional wrestler just got out-professionally wrestled. Swoggle is tuning up the band. Uh-oh. Oh, Beastman sees dinner. Oh, Beastman! Man just hit that steel bolt behind the turnbuckle, charging in. But Fallah Bahh's a little smarter than Beastman. Oh! You won't find any brains there, though. Clothesline by Myers. Swoggle, variation of a shining wizard. Stack them up, and the unlikely team gets it.
Your winners, the team of Swoggle and Brian Myers. And as Born to Die continues with a three-way dance.
As this certainly been on a career resurgence since capturing the New Japan Pro Wrestling Television Championship a few weeks ago. And between Kosei Fujita, between Jake Oman, Matt Riddle has had some very, very high caliber championship defenses in the past several weeks. And he and PCO one-on-one. It is going to be heavy hitting. Matt Riddle, of course, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And somebody who has a history in UFC. He won his most recent 4 UFC fights. He received Fight of the Night, Submission of the Night. He was very decorated and scored very high in punches landed and takedown defense. And by very high, I'm talking about, that's not a pun by the way, I'm talking about top 10 all time. And Riddle, that explosive offense, able to take PCO down with an overhead exploder suplex. Riddle has so much power and quickness, and the long reach lends itself, 2 count only, to Riddle's submission game. But fisherman suplex, release style. Riddle defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi in Japan to win that championship, the New Japan television title. Fujita, Oman, Bad Dude Tito have been his victims thus far. To the best of my knowledge, that championship is not on the line currently. But this is still a matchup so many have clamored to see. Superplex by PCO. On top, 2 count only. PCO complaining, a victory here. If PCO's the first one to knock off Riddle since winning that. Oh my God! Just the sheer strength, the leverage. Matt Riddle, a suplex master, able to get PCO overhead and then into the Super Broton. That'll do it right there. Oh. And I've seen Matt Riddle very recently end his matches with that Super Broton. And maybe if we were talking about a standard opponent, we'd already be listening to the ring announcement of the decision. But PCO is unlike anyone or anything else I have seen. Oh, check this out. PCO charged in, went to swing a left, and Riddle with a triangle choke. It's not legal. It's in the ropes. You've got 5 to break. But Riddle getting his damage in. And PCO, when he gets that look in his eye, I get very nervous. PCO, Tope Suicida. Sometimes with PCO, you never know who he'll land on, where he'll land, how he'll land. But that was a perfect, precise landing on top of Riddle. Side suplex. And when you recall that PCO has been in this sport for over 30 years. Guillotine leg drop, nicely done. Some 35 years or so PCO's been doing this. Cover 2 and only 2. PCO's a man who was near or at the top of the card in Madison Square Garden when he was about 24 years old. That's scary. That's scary how good he was then and how good he is now as well, as Riddle gets drilled with a choke slam. And PCO in the high-rent district taking a chance. Moonsault, nobody there. And Riddle to his feet first, firing through with those knees, and notice there's no padding, there's no shin guards, and that means that hurts Riddle almost as much as it does PCO. It's bone on bone. A PCO out of the corner, like a bat out of hell with a clothesline. Man, you knew it'd be intense, and you knew that there'd be no quarter given. And oh my God, PCO, that modified code breaker, lung blower, whatever you want to call it, it's going to constrict the breathing. It jars Riddle, and a near fall. PCO, a former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, a former WWF World Tag Team Champion. A long, impressive resume, but Riddle, not intimidated by resumes, but PCO just took a knee. Oh! Out of nowhere by Riddle! And he beat him! That was for you, Randy!
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, the King of Brawls, For anything and everything about the company, check out the website battlegroundcw.com. As our star-studded action here at Born to Die continues with the following contest set for one fall. And it is for the Battleground Women's World Championship.
Neon Blondes fare better. Time will tell. Dani Moe won that women's championship, defeating Holoden and Tasha Steelz in the month of December after defeating Alex Gracia in a qualifying matchup in the month of October. It has been a long road for Dani Moe to get to her very first championship defense. But what a lead-off title defense it is to have Miranda Gordy as your challenge. The name Gordy is synonymous with championship gold, whether it's All Japan Pro Wrestling, whether it's World Class Championship Wrestling. Miranda Gordy has to go behind. Miranda Gordy, I don't think I need to state many times that she's got the power advantage, certainly. She's got a lot on her side. She's got the pedigree in the sense that she has been around this sport her entire life. And she has held 6 different women's championships in her career just in the past 4 years or so. That shows Miranda's ability to come into a new town, territory, area, whatever verbiage you want to use, and take over, and take charge, and assert dominance. And Dani Moe is one of the most natural athletes in this locker room. And I get it, she was a gymnast and a pole vaulter. She's done so much her entire life in and out of wrestling, but is it enough for overwhelming presence like Gordy, who went to charge out with a clothesline, and Dani Mo eludes contact, arm drag takeover. Dani Mo looking good in the early going. You don't want to lose your championship in your very first defense. Goes without saying. Slides through with that drop kick, and Miranda landed spine into the guardrail, I believe, and now shoulder first. Dani Mo getting as rough as she has to with the best of them. We know she's able to. We know she's a survivor. We know what she's been through to get to this point. Gotta wonder if Facade is watching from Crowbar's locker room. Crowbar gave him the ultimatum, a wine glass and a conversation. I'm not sure what that would look like, but I know what Dani Mo's gonna look like after Miranda Gordy is done making handprints on her with those knife-edge chops. If you're in the grasp of Gordy, you're usually in trouble. Be abusive yet elusive. Oh, look out! Dani Mo literally sent into the lap of the front row. And now look, they're brawling into the crowd. This can get dangerous. We don't have a lot of extra space here. We are packed to the brim here at the 2300 Arena. And keep in mind, it's not false count anywhere. You can't win the title in the back of the building, but he can sure as hell do enough damage to set up that title win. Dani fighting back as she can, but to me, this favors 100% Miranda Gordy. Dani can't use her surroundings, use the ropes, use her agility. It's a bar fight back here, and Dani's holding her own. Credit to her. Shot to the back. Jeez. That is vicious. And you gotta be vicious to match with Gordy. Miranda firing her shots of her own. I see so much of her dad in just the way she swings. Just the way she carries herself. Just that presence. Reminds me so much of Terry Gordy. Oh, Miranda comes through the clothesline. And a back elbow as well. Dani is in a bad way. I'm not sure I can call it a Polish hammer, but maybe just a Gordy hammer. And a follow-through splash. Miranda Gordy is feeling it here. Back and forth. Using that power, and Dani Mo taken down. Is that enough? Hook in the leg. Near fall situation. Almost a smile on Miranda's face as if to say, hey, that means I get to hurt her some more. Looking for, could be a power bomb. Oh, Dani Mo, notice her brace herself, plant her feet to get the leverage for that back body drop. Miranda is down, Dani Mo is stirring, but Dani Mo needs every bit of energy she can find, whether it's within herself, from this capacity crowd, or both, because Dani Mo's been put through hell. Gordy, not amused, not gonna be any closer to the reach of Dani Mo than she needs to, but Dani firing away high and low. Measures her with that side kick right around the rib cage. We're gonna target those intercostal cartilage. And a running drop kick takes the challenger down. Dani Mo for the win, 2 count only. Dani Mo's bringing the fight. You've got spunk, you've got chutzpah. And a round kick to the side of the head. Maybe aiming for the temple. Dani Mo drops Miranda face first. Flatliner-like maneuver. Retaining her title? No. You got to admire the staying power of Miranda. Did not travel all this way to be a footnote on the weekend. She went to lead women's champion. Miranda Gordy fights out. Back suplex. Nicely done. Maybe some more shades of dear-old dad there. Obligatory 10 count by the official. If neither is to their feet, it becomes a double count out. It doesn't look like we'll have to worry about that as Dani Mo and Miranda firing away back and forth. It's gut check time in the arena, and Miranda is holding nothing back. Power bomb coming up. Dani Mo counters. Hurricane Rana connects. And Dani out of the corner. Elevated DDT. Oh, Miranda hit hard. She may have gotten spiked. Does Dani Mo have enough to follow through? Dani on the top turnbuckle, walking the tightrope crossbody. Miranda rolls through. Miranda overpowers Dani Mo. This'll do it. Wait a minute. What in the world is this? Who is this? Out of nowhere, we have a couple of outsiders, of invaders. And I apologize, fans. I really don't know what the situation is. But obviously, someone unhappy over the spotlight going to Dani Mo and Miranda Gordy, and they respond in kind.
Get out of my ring. Kylie, get over here. They both suck.
Miranda Gordy and Dani Mo standing tall. And unfortunately, this matchup has ended and been thrown out. No contest, a decision as a result of that interference where everybody got attacked.
With that said, I leave you fine folks with one final question. Who's got time for one more match? Oh, come on, South Philly, I said, who's got time for one more match? Oh yeah, that's the sound I've been looking for. And away we go live from 2300. In the heart of South Philly, this is your Battleground Championship Wrestling Born to Die main event.
Tim Embler finds a ruling there. The ultimate statement is the Battleground title. Life, Brian's the constant.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Title Match Network from 2300 in the heart of South Philly, this is your Battleground Championship Wrestling Born to Die featured bout of the afternoon. It is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Battleground World when the bell sounds for the man in command, your official, Mr. Johnny Q. And now, the combatant to get set to enter the battleground. First to my left, he comes to us from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Weighing in at 169 pounds, he is the 2010 and 2011 Mr. Puss in Boots, the challenger, Lucha Lit Lince Dorado. And now, his opponent to my right, fighting out of Venice, California, holding an official weight of 174 pounds, he is your current reigning and defending Battleground World Champion, Brian Kendrick.
How lucha lit would it be if the links of Lucha Libre captures the Battleground Championship? Brian Kendrick has looked at, worn, and defended so proudly for the past year. Brian Kendrick wears it like a badge of honor. He has used it to push himself to his limits and maybe a little bit beyond to show that he still competes at the highest of levels possible. And quickly with the leg takedown into the scissors, looking for the arm breaker as Kendrick. And as soon as Lince found a counter and lunged at Kendrick, Kendrick, a smart man, calculated, defensive, was under the bottom rope. These are two great veterans, two master strategists competing for the top prize in all of pro wrestling in the Philadelphia area. And it looked like Kendrick was trying to cinch in that bulldog choke early. We see Kendrick put contenders and challengers away before with that. But one would suggest maybe too early in the bout to get Lince compromised. Perhaps that mask had an effect too. Now some of these fans are firmly in Brian Kendrick's corner, and it's clear to see why. They've watched Kendrick go through war after war after war to establish that Battleground Championship and to certainly establish himself as Battleground Champion. Lince, great escape out of the hammerlock leverage maneuver with a flying mare, and now goes low, caught him high. Lince, the strike combo on Brian Kendrick. Looking to spring, great hang time on the crossbody. High drop kick as well. Brian Kendrick in a bad way, courtesy of the challenger. And Mr. Puss in Boots, maybe a few heartbeats away. Oh, maybe not. Oh, lands at his feet. Counter for counter, Kendrick and Lince. And now rolling through with the head scissors, Tijeras takeover by Lince Dorado. And swing and a miss by Lince, and that exposed the kidneys. Kendrick caught Lince with a shot, but Dorado fires back, able to trip up the champion. Fuel the moment is Lince, the low drop kick, Kendrick to the outside. And Kendrick has had a hard time getting out of the blocks. And we know he can take a beating. Oh, look at Lince! The Tijeras, the Hurricane Rana, call it whatever you want. But Kendrick landed on that hard, unprotected floor. And much as is so frequent here, this afternoon and in general. Action too intense to be contained in the ring. Lince getting ahead of steam. We saw this work for Rich Swann once earlier. We saw it backfire once earlier. Oh, look out, Lince. Did not connect. And Kendrick was up against that pillar that's literally holding this building up. And Lince hit hard. You can feel that thud. You can feel the whole building shake. I know it was not the earthquake I'm seeing people tweeting about a few hours ago. That was Lince's body colliding into the support beam.
Moral support, that's how we get there.
Notice Kendrick waved off the count. And by leaving the ring, breaks the count officially. Kendrick says, I don't want to win on a count out. And that's been the kind of medal we have seen, no pun intended, from Kendrick as champion. Win on his own merit and volition. Kendrick has faced the best of the best that have come down the pike. But Kendrick wants decisive pinfall, winners and losers. And there's Lince trying to be a winner. Bringing off Air Sabu style, down with a splash. Kendrick in trouble, and we were half a count away from a brand new Battleground champion. Kendrick on the receiving end in a bad way. Up and over, cat-like reflexes. Lince lands on his feet. Caught Kendrick high coming in. It's Lince Dorado moments away from a title victory. Lince soars, crossbody. Is that enough? Oh, and Kendrick rolled through and hit the bulldog choke. Kendrick to choke in. Lince, I don't think he's near enough to a rope. Kendrick bridging up. The more Kendrick can get his hindquarters in the air, the more torque on that choke. Lince had a break for a moment, but Kendrick pulled him away. Oh, high angle back suplex. Folds Kendrick up. And what does either man have left? Lince was, you gotta believe, seconds away from the lights turning out. And Kendrick just got dropped on the back of his head. Super kick connects. Lince, toe of those, that boot into the skull of the sit-out powerbomb. Lince near fall. The resolve of Kendrick. It's always a headline story. And Lince, maybe looking shooting star. Shooting star being hit. We have a new champion for sure. But Kendrick out of the way. And Kendrick looking sliced bread. Number 2. Battleground champion. Now he doesn't retain. Lince chops his shoulders. Oh, what an upset that would have been under those circumstances. The Maestro cradle. Lince has the fingers locked but couldn't beat him. My God, what a championship match. Hurricane Rana, Kendrick rolls through, chops his shoulders, and Kendrick beat him.
South Philly, here is your winner, and still the Battleground World Champion, Brian
Kendrick was textbook. He out-wrestled, In a matter of seconds, a matter of inches, Kendrick was able to flatten out a picture-perfect sunset flip with his heels over the opponent's shoulders. And when Kendrick went flat, Lince had no leverage to move. And Kendrick just trapped him, cradled him, finished him. Great handshake, great respect. This is only step one of our night, our day at the 2300 Arena. Later on this evening, right here on Title Match Network, you can see a Tribute to the Extreme, Part 2, Team 3D, into the Hardcore Hall of Fame, Tajiri and Super Crazy, in a rivalry renewed, and so much more still to come. Throughout the night, Team 3D facing Onita. We've got Cavalli's, Bill Alfonso, Masato Tanaka, and Rhino, and so much more. Stay with us. Wait a minute. What is this about now? That's Juicy Finau, and that's Papa Jr.?
Hey, yo. I got a message from the Samoan dynasty.
Oh, wait a minute.
You got something that belongs to us. Hey, shut the fuck up. And come July 6th, that shit's coming back to my bloodline.
A stern warning, the Battleground champion. You heard Kendrick, bring it on, in more colorful terminology. And you know this message is straight from Lance Anoa'i. A straight from the #1 contender. And the Samoan Wrestling Dynasty is the cause of the walls closing in a little closer to Brian Kendrick. But Brian's got 3 months to prepare for the most dominant family in pro wrestling as Lance Anoa'i opposes for the Battleground Championship July 6th. We'll see him back here on Title Match. Later tonight, it's a Tribute to the Extreme 2.
TitleMatchNetwork.com